All right, guys, today we're driving a 1998 BMW M3 Sedan. I'm here with the owner, Sonny. You have your own YouTube channel.
I do. MTech M-T3CH.
We'll throw a link in the top comment. I've always had a soft spot in my heart for these E36s. We've got a pretty wet, rainy spring day here in Southeast Michigan. So let's see, what's the trick to, here we go.
Oh yeah, turns more than you think it should.
Okay.
There you go.
Cool. Love the orange BMW gauges.
You know why it's this color?
It's easy on your eyes, right?
Yep, that's exactly the reason.
That's it. Cool. Also easy on your eyes, all the warning messages. Brings back good memories of my E28.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Let's get outside. We'll walk around this. Yeah.
That's the flywheel at work.
It sounds good. So how long have you had this?
So I've had this for almost 3 years. 3 years in May. I bought this in 2020. I was looking for one of these things for like 4 or 5 months, like a really long time. And they were all junk. And I had a Craigslist ad. This car was never for sale. A guy messaged me. He's like, hey, I have this M3. You interested in it? Price is $6 grand. Take it or leave it.
Cool.
So I went and looked at it. Had 222,000 miles at the time. Set it a manual swap. Which was the only mods in this car when I bought it.
Okay, so it wasn't automatic before?
Yes. It's
all
a
right.
full option car.
Neat.
We can talk about later. But
okay.
Here we are. All this money and time and effort. But
you've done a lot of suspension work, some alignment stuff, a lot of bushings.
Yeah.
You've probably refreshed it pretty thoroughly.
It's 90%.
So full option car, what are all the options? What's everything in this interior?
Okay, so full option car, you have Harman Kardon sound, which gives you these tweeters here.
Okay.
You get subs, factory subs in the rear.
Pull out a flashlight, it's pretty dark.
Oh yeah. You get heated seats up there. It's the cold weather packs. The heated seats, heated mirrors. That's why you see a little grossness at the side.
Okay.
That's why it has the heat.
Interior's super clean. These seats look great.
That was why I bought this car.
Yeah.
This driver's seat was unfortunately not savable, but
I have a guy who can fix that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he's really good.
Oh yeah, I'll ask you about that.
All right.
But
and then the back seats, because this is a sedan, easy access. I mean, this is great. Throw your friends in the back.
Oh yeah, that's what I do. You have cup holders in the back too if you pull down the armrest.
Cool.
You gotta now pull it from the handle.
Oh, from right here?
Yeah.
Just give it a good yank. Oh yeah, there we go. The leather is nice and sticky. There we go. Ooh yeah.
Probably the most usable cup holders in the entire car.
Great. Cool. Yeah, good space back here. Tons of headroom. A true sunroof.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very 90s. I love it.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to think of what else. I think I covered all the options. Oh, 18-button onboard computer.
Okay.
The front, so you get the extra row at the bottom.
I mean, what a cockpit. So many buttons. It's great.
Very 90s.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the spoiler I did add on. It didn't have a spoiler originally, but I think it really flushes out the rear end of the car.
Yeah, it looks nice.
I was looking at one of the LTW style spoilers, but I really like just the stock one with the rear brake light.
Yeah, this looks good. Balances out the rear diffuser nicely.
Exactly. That was my problem with it before. I thought it was looked almost like Hot Boy.
Yeah.
Like, because I also had just tucking in the rear when I first put the springs on it.
Okay.
And it was, I don't know. It was a look, but it wasn't my look.
It's okay. You've got a set of DWS 06 tires, pluses?
Continental DWS 06 pluses.
Cool.
These are great at the track. I was actually impressed with them at the track, relative to an all season anyway.
Sure. Yeah, they hold up well. They don't wear out too fast.
Even in the snow, they were okay.
Yeah. You've got about 3 degrees of negative camber up front.
Yeah, about -3 degrees of camber up front, the rear -2.
Cool. Let's pop the hood real quick.
Oh yeah.
Here, I'll let you do it.
This is funny. Has a Dynan intake on it, makes cool sounds.
Nice.
But power-wise, we're pretty stock. I have a 93 octane RK tune on here, which they told me was good for about 5-wheel horsepower, whatever that's worth.
Okay.
I did it because it cleared the manual spot check engine light.
Gotcha. Nice. Okay.
And it had, if you come over here, a dealer installed Dynan tune at like 30,000 miles. They put the sticker on there.
Oh wow, neat.
So it looked like a service record and everything.
All right. Well, let's go drive it. See how healthy it feels. We've got limited traction today, so we'll do the best we can. But
Oh,
Yeah. Substitute Topher has his BMW M Roadster with a
saw that.
Dynan tune. That's pretty healthy.
Yes.
So these were what, around 250 stock?
240 stock.
240 stock? Okay.
240 horse, 236 torque.
Okay.
The stock intake manifold, which is what's on there now. Power, your best power is gonna be in the mid-range, so 3 to 5.
Okay.
After 6, you can rev it out to 7 if you want. That's the limiter, but you lose power after 6, just because the way the manifold is.
And then you've got an aftermarket clutch.
Yes, which is, there you go.
There's first. Nice.
Yeah, so it's Kevlar sprung clutch disc, 14-pound steel flywheel, which is, the stock flywheel is 25 pounds. So it's like OEM plus-ish.
Okay.
But I like the engagement. When I eventually go back to stock, I will miss the way it drives.
Yeah, it feels good. It's nice and hefty.
Suspension, so poly, AKG 75D poly different subframe bushings, AKG 95A R-tabs and front control arm bushings. If you hear squeaking from the rear, it's the R-tabs.
Okay.
You have to lubricate them. Well, it's my fault.
It's alright.
Turner Motorsport camber arms, ground control camber plates, H-Drum Sport Springs, Coney shocks, whatever, the whole deal. It's pretty tight. And then I'm going to turn that off for you. Traction control will only hurt you on this car.
Yeah, it's probably pretty unpredictable from 98.
Yes. It's a mechanical traction control. It's just a second throttle body in front of the main one that just closes and cuts airflow.
Okay. Yeah, yikes. Scary.
Yes, actually, it can create an accident for you. Back careful.
Shifter feels good.
Yeah, so it's a Dynan short throw.
Cool. Yeah, this is perfect.
It's like 20% reduction. I'm
Yep.
very happy with it.
It's not too stiff. It kind of matches the clutch pedal weight well.
Yeah. And then I did the shift detents, which is an issue with these. I don't know if you ever heard of fifth gear lean,
Okay.
where in neutral, it'll kind of hang out by fifth gear, and it just generally kind of gets a little notchy. Detents fix that, and it makes it shift a lot better.
Okay. And you also have a clutch delay valve to lead.
Yes.
That's okay.
Or rather, lack of installation of my clutch delay valve.
Okay. Manual swap.
Yeah,
things.
it's not there, but yeah, it is. I've driven them. I didn't honestly really notice because I've always driven like that. But then I drove one with it, and I noticed the difference. And
Okay.
I would do it again.
Cool.
Yeah, I love these cars. This was an attainable dream car for mine,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, this was the keeper for sure. I also like that it has a lot of miles on it.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. You're like 200 miles away from 250,000.
Yeah.
If you drive these cars and you just take decent care of them, they will run forever. I mean, you only have to put like a small fortune into them to keep them perfect.
I
But
call it the $10,000 rule.
exactly.
But that's even, and to the way prices are now, that might be a little outdated rule.
Who knows?
$10,000.
Yeah, what are these going for now?
This car may be worth like 12 or 13 just because of the mileage, but even that might be high.
Okay.
Really assorted ones like 15, 20 grand. That buys you a solid
Okay.
one.
Nice. Yeah, and there is no perfect E36 M3 out there, unless if someone has spent a fortune on making it perfect. So you kind of have to deal with a few little check engine lights and a few flaws and a few things here and there. It's just old BMW ownership. That's the way it is.
Exactly. It's just kind of,
It's like, it gives the car a personality, it gives the car a character.
yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, lots of traction.
Yeah, it is pretty good. You're also gonna feel at the bottom of the gas pedal a little click. You want to click that all the way down. That was the kickdown switch for the automatic transmission.
Okay, that's right, that makes sense. Awesome. Feels great. Love
Yeah.
these tires in the rain. They are so good.
They are phenomenal.
Yeah.
This is the tire I'm going to put on every street car.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's awesome. This feels great, man. Fun car.
Yeah.
Really like intuitive controls. I mean, the last E36 M3 I drove the interaction between, I don't know if it had a weird tune on it or something, but the interaction between like the revs dropping and the shifter and the clutch gauge was all a little bit wonky.
Yeah.
This feels very just easy to drive.
What helped me with this car is I had a lot of people that were more knowledgeable than I was help me pick out parts. Yeah, I got recommend the clutch, the bushings, all of it.
A lot of torque.
Yeah, and then the brake pads. Brakes are stock, other than the front pads, which are Hawk HPS 5.0s.
Okay. Any squealing from those?
A tiny amount when they get really hot. Sometimes when they're cold, but honestly, like it's quiet 95% of the time.
Okay,
Probably
cool.
will not hear them today.
Nice. I need a brake pad upgrade on the BRZ, and I just don't know what to get anymore.
Oh, the HPS 5.0s are pretty solid.
Okay.
I've
cool.
been happy with them.
Sweet.
Yeah, this thing, it took me a while to find it, and I wanted black interior. I saw like Dove Gray. I like Dove Gray on some of the brighter colors like blue or purple, whatever, but on silver, black is just, I don't know. One thing that also bothers me with Dove Gray interiors is the dashboard is gray and then this is black.
Oh,
so it doesn't match. Because even like tan is like that, but when you get tan to black, it's like the two-tone that like works.
This is nice. It's clean. It looks good. It's in great shape. Sometimes these BMW interiors just, they wear really poorly. Oops.
Oh. There you go. Yeah.
Manual driving problems.
Yeah, right.
And we're off. Rides nicely.
Yeah.
Works well on Michigan roads.
Yeah, I know. I wish I'd like a set of iBox springs, but they just discontinued them. I'm kind of upset.
Oh, really? Dang it.
Yeah, ground control still makes coilovers, so when I'm ready to spend $2,500 on coilovers, I'll buy those.
Yeah.
This is fine enough.
Yeah, it feels good. Maybe a little bit soft on track, but for street, it's great. Wonderful.
Yeah, and then if you're around like a little over 5,000 RPM, the engine note changes. That's because of the Vanos. I'm not qualified enough to explain exactly how it works. I'm not an engineer, but it's a infinitely variable VTEC, technically. Yeah, you hear the engine note change. It's kind of cool. Intake amplifies that.
I'm sure someone in the comments who is a BMW fiend will chime in.
If someone wants to explain exactly how it works, like the internet is not helpful at all.
Okay.
Diagrams kind of help, but yeah.
What exhaust do you have on here?
Factory exhaust, other than the muffler, which is a Rogue Engineering dual muffler system, EMS.
Okay.
It's just catback for rear section.
Yeah, sounds great. No drone. Healthy high revs.
Oh yeah.
I can really see the appeal of these cars. They are just, it's such a nice, balanced formula. They're practical, they're fun to drive, they're fast enough.
Very addicting.
Yeah.
This is an inexpensive way to enjoy a part of BMW M history.
Sure.
Because I mean, every other M car is now worth $1 million. These things
It's
aren't.
true. These are still not priced in the stratosphere, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can really get into a rhythm with it too.
Oh yeah. I think I know a lot of people. It's kind of one of those cars that if you're a native manual driver, you kind of hop into it. You figure it out after a few minutes.
Sure.
In my opinion.
Yeah, it is easy to drive, which is great. It's very forgiving. So you've done some track stuff with this.
I did one track day, and I want to do more. Tracking is really expensive.
It is, yeah. And you have to get the cooling system, everything sorted. It's
Yeah, I already did all that stuff.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah, it's expensive to get into track days. Consumables are expensive, and once this is not my daily driver, this is like the car I rely on to get to work.
Sure.
Which kind of sucks. I don't know. When I was in high school, I remember watching videos like, oh, buy one for 10 grand, you just put a little bit of money into it, and then, you know, it'll be good forever. But that was like 2014 logic when these cars were like not old. This is a 25-year-old car now. Hopefully that'll, next year or two, I'll have it daily. But once that happens, this is going to get tracked more.
Yeah, this would be a fun car on track. But yes, consumables and everything just... Oh, you can do a second gear start in this, easy.
Oh, basically.
That's great.
The FCPO lifetime replacement guarantee makes this car a lot easier to stomach.
Yeah, I bet. Is surprisingly light.
That surprised me too. When I got it, and it was heavy, and a lot of them are heavy. If they're heavy, they either swap the steering rack to a Z3 or E36 HP rack, or the power steering pump isn't needed help / the fluid's old.
Okay.
I replaced the rack on this because the old one was billowing fluid out of it, and the shop didn't want to rebuild it. Yeah.
You've done a lot of work to this. That's awesome.
Everything has been done to this car, short of pulling the motor apart. Knock on cheap plastic.
Yeah. Well, the motor's probably like one of the most solid things in this. Knock on cheap plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Compression numbers are good. Within 15%. Cylinder 1's at 170. Cylinder 2 is a little over 190. But
okay.
You know, the heads, or like the top ends, are kind of the weak points of these. So I'm sure by the time I get to 300 or 350, I'll probably have to do a head job on it.
Okay.
That's probably where the compression variation is in. The bottom end's basically bulletproof.
That's awesome.
Stock power.
Yeah, you hear people boosting these and going crazy, but probably best to leave it as close to stock power numbers as possible.
Yeah, if you did want to boost it, 300 wheels is a really good number that's reliable, and kind of just, it makes it closer to the Euro 1, but you'll beat E36 M3s.
Yeah.
But 400 wheel or 450 with lower compression head gasket, or thicker head gasket, is about the limit on these.
Okay.
And honestly, I think that's a lot. I go back and forth between whether I want to boost this at some point or rebuild the engine, do NA thing. I think I'm leaning NA, but I really want to drive them both.
Yeah.
I know regardless, this car is going to be a car I drive everywhere, even after it's not a daily. So reliability is my number one.
Sure, that makes sense.
The US version of these cars is interesting because BMW kind of like...
Oh yeah, we got shafted.
People say that, but this is the one you want for our roads. Because if you buy a Euro 1, the maintenance is close to an SF4, and it's not terrible, but you got to do valve adjustments, all the parts are more expensive, little vanos, and they're just a lot more complicated. You have rod bearings and everything on the E46 M3Ds. There's nothing. Oil
so these
pump
are
none.
way simpler cars, relatively.
Way simpler. You can work on this in your backyard. You need to pull out the owner's manual and look up the torque specs on the Euro 1. Okay. Not that you shouldn't do that on this anyway, but...
Sure. Interesting. I guess I have heard that too. It's kind of a blessing in disguise that we got the...
These also get better gas mileage.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess they're a little bit too, like, understressed, overbuilt in some respects.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. And actually, torque-wise, 3,000 and less, this makes about the same torque as the Euro 1.
Okay, so it's just top end.
Yeah, and 0 to 60 is actually only 0.1 seconds slower.
Oh, all right.
On this. Yeah. The Euro 1 pulls away at like 60, 70 miles an hour, but...
Okay.
You know, I'll import a Euro 1 someday.
Now we're getting into it.
Yeah. I'm gonna try one too. No.
We'll get it up here.
Yeah, first gear, in my opinion, is the reason why might buy one of these cars. They're just so punchy. It's I don't know, the gearing, the power band, the whole package. This is a very potent 240 horsepower.
It is. It's German 240 horsepower. It's probably closer to like 240 wheel, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of grip, a lot of traction. Rear diff just puts its power down.
323 LSD.
Yeah. Gearing's not too long. You can kind of wind this out, enjoy it.
I need those wipers replaced desperately.
That's okay. Yeah, like every 6 months. All right, we'll do a little 1-2 here. Wonderful. Sounds so good.
Yeah, I know.
This is a fun car, man.
I love this thing. Affordable fun.
Yeah.
I always like letting people drive this car because it's different from a lot of cars. You don't really see a lot like this.
Well, you know, it's kind of an eye-opening experience too, because all of these cars right now, they're so old that they all kind of drive differently, and it's hard to kind of get that idea of how they should drive. And this feels like it drives like how it should drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It drives better than stock. Stock ones feel really nice, but they are very insulated. If you've driven an E36, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this car, when it was new and everything is stock, is just as comfortable and just as quiet as an E46. We'll ignore the interior because the E46 interior is like leagues better. But these aged significantly worse than those cars.
Sure.
I don't know why.
Something about the mid-90s BMW plastics that they just all kind of fall apart. But this is still a really good condition.
Oh yeah.
Compared to like, you know, Chris Brower's 2000 M Roadster.
Oh no, that Roadster.
Yeah, like that, everything's just falling apart. It depends like how it's been cared for. This is like, you said this was a California car for a long time.
It was garage.
Just garage. I mean, that makes the biggest difference.
Tinting it in May because
Yeah.
I think I'm going to 35% all around to the windshield.
Okay.
Because I want to protect the interior, especially these door cards.
Something that people just don't talk about anymore, the visibility in these cars is insane. I mean, I can just see right over the hood. I can see so much road in this. And you lose out on that, on everything that's brand new. Except for maybe like a Tesla Model 3 or...
It's funny, I drove I think it was a Model Y the other day.
Yeah.
And the steering, it's heavy, and the steering wheel's like smaller, so it feels sporty.
Mm-hmm.
It's I actually compared it a lot to this car and how it felt. I'm like, man.
Kind of similar sizes, similar greenhouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I like the driving position in this a lot. I mean, these seats are really comfortable. All of your controls are right, they fall right to hand, and the visibility is just insane. You can see so well outside. These mirrors are really tiny, but they're kind of cool. They look neat.
They look good. That's what they're meant to do.
Yeah.
See the turtle wax stuff doing its work.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Windshield.
Hitting warp speed.
Yeah, exactly.
Do everything. Just turn the wipers off. And
the one thing about this car that used to drive me nuts is not having a 6th gear. Because you sit so high on the tag.
Sure. Yeah.
90 or like 4,000.
What kind of fuel economy do you get?
If I go 60, 65, no, that's a lot of, that's mixed city and highway. If I do 60, 65 in the freeway, I'll actually get like on road trips and stuff, like low 30s.
That's pretty good.
Which is nice. WZ93.
I'm always surprised at how efficient BMW engines are, old and new.
Yeah, it was funny. This actually gets on the highway better gas mileage than the 318 because it's less stressed out. 318 is spinning up higher. That's the 338 rear end.
Okay.
So that's sitting at like almost 4,000 at 80.
Interesting.
And you have to bring the heck out of those things to get anything. But this
yeah, they're really slow. Really
yeah.
slow.
You have the AC on, it's flat foot driving. But yeah, in the city, this thing chucks fuel at lower speeds.
Sure.
Like, maybe performance driving, but yeah. But you know, it's good enough. I think the arcade tune actually got me a bit better gas mileage.
Okay.
It's not something you usually expect with a tune, but Arcade Tunes did a really good job with the tune on this thing. I was going back and forth because last year I was fighting a bunch of air-fuel mixture issues and it misfire and everything else. I was getting to the point where I'm like, oh my god, is my motor done? Like, my crush tested it, it leaked out. Like,
the drivability is awesome. I mean, it feels great.
Yeah, eventually I just threw a bunch of parts at it and it fixed itself. So.
That's good.
Yeah.
Just need some like double-sided tape for that.
So,
something.
of course, the problem is, well, this is the issue, one of the issues, but also these delaminate, and that's why I had to replace this piece too.
You gotta just do
You
everything.
buy the little pieces in here, but it just doesn't fix the core problem.
Yeah.
This whole thing just has to, God. Well, it is garbage. You ever seen an E36 glove box that looks nice? It's not an E36. Yeah, that's what you should look like.
It's like the A50Rs, the dash pads are always like curling around.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah. That's funny. Well, it has its character.
It does. It's got character.
Yeah, I think my goal of this thing is just to have the nicest 350,000 mile M3. I think that'd be cool. There's a novelty to it, in my opinion.
Absolutely. No, sometimes the higher mileage cars drive so much better because they've been well cared for, they've been driven. One thing BMWs hate is not being driven.
I agree.
You know?
And that's why
It's when everything breaks, when you just let it sit.
this car is well used and well loved.
Yep.
It's an auto car at 205,000 miles as well, which helps its case a lot because I'm probably the worst owner for this car. As far as like I was the typical like high schooler, you know, the car sees the high schooler and the car like starts crying because the high school's about to ruin it. I was very adamant on not ruining this car, but yeah, I definitely probably driven it the hardest. I took this car to its first track day and probably its first clutch dump, which is something I've just started kind of doing because I've put multiple clutches in here and I babied all of them, so I'm kind of upset about it. God, I want to finally get my use out of one of these things.
Enjoy it. Well, it's gonna kill itself anyway.
Yeah. You can hear like if you put your foot down, like low over 3,000, you start hearing the induction sound. It's the long intake tube.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah.
The suction. Yeah. It's cool. It's weird that Dynan made the intake they did for this car because well, one, with the Euro headlights, it barely fits. It's really annoying to fit in there.
Okay. Yeah, it's huge, a huge pipe.
Yeah, and the filter sits right where the Euro headlights want to go because
Yeah.
the Euro headlights stick go further into the engine bay.
Okay.
But I don't actually I think if anything, that is the worst intake design from a power standpoint you get on one of these cars. And when I say worst, I mean we're probably talking relative to 1 or 2 horsepower. But the factory airbox actually grabs air from the grill and siphons it to the filter.
Okay.
Just how a lot of the other intake systems are.
It's engineered and channeled.
Exactly, it's engineered. The Dyna one just was throwing it all out the window. It sounds cool. Which, to be fair, it does.
It does sound good. It's a really perfect balance of like induction noise, exhaust sound.
I agree. A lot of people put headers and stuff on these, and I'm gonna drive one at some point that has super sprint headers with the same muffler I have, and that might sell me on super sprints because they kind of bring out the very higher pitch like Euro sound.
Sure.
But yeah, outside like noise wise, this is perfect for what I want it for.
Cool, man. Well, this was a real pleasure. I didn't really know what to expect, but you sent me your mod list, and I was like, oh, this car's probably sorted. So, yeah, man, this is fun. And in the rain in these conditions. So easy, so just wonderful and a pleasure to drive.
Wet driving is something I'm trying to get more comfortable with. Because I don't know, I've had bad experience with wet driving.
Sure.
But these tires are definitely solid.
You just got to have the right tires. You have good tires, you're safe, you're fine, you have a lot of confidence. These Continentals are unflappable in the rain, which is pretty awesome.
Everyone stands by him. Well, I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, thanks for having it out. Maybe we'll do a dry drive someday.
Oh yeah,
And
once
I'm
I get the
sure,
stock clutch in.
Yeah.
And then next summer or something, I'll let you take it out again.
That'd be great, yeah. Cool, well, anyway, Sonny, thanks again, appreciate it. Go check out his YouTube channel. We'll put a link in the description and top comment. And yeah, great job with this E36 M3. This feels awesome, drives great. And like you said, I mean, you know, if you're looking for a great driving experience on kind of a reasonable budget, this can this
budget
can really deliver.
In air quotes, relatively.
Sure.
If a Honda and it is what you're cross shopping with, or anything Japanese or anything newer, don't like. If you want 370 performance, buy 370Z. Don't buy this.
It's definitely an active ownership experience. Like, you're gonna have to take a very active role in maintaining and, you know, working on the car. But a little bit of labor of love is never a bad thing.
Exactly.
So, kind of enhances the ownership experience. Gives you pride in your vehicle.
Exactly.
Yeah, as long as you're not going overboard and, you know, completely financially draining yourself. But,
yeah, right.
Yeah, this is definitely a worthwhile car to experience and drive because, yeah, one of the greats for sure.
Yeah, this car's something.
Yeah. Cool. All right. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later. Cool. Yeah, let's go drive side.
There we go. Alright, there's your
lights.
The first time I ever heard that, I freaked out and I thought I just like blew something up.
Looks good in silver too.
Silver was definitely one of my top picks for this car. I really wanted Estoril blue, but silver was like a close second, and I don't know. It's silver don't. Oh, I got it. We'll ignore that.
It's the second time you've kicked lights since you showed up.
Exactly. Yeah, silver, it's such a nice color. It's very classic, fits the body lines of the car. Mm-hmm. The way the light hits it, I mean, it looks very 90s Euro, especially the clear.
Yeah.
Everything. It's just black trim, very striking in my opinion.
I love all the black trim on the bumpers and the doors. I mean, you know, I grew up when this car was new and I was into cars, and I remember when it came out in the magazines and I saw one on the road. I had this memory of one like fishtailing out of this like housing complex, full lock sideways in first gear, like laying down rubber strips on the road, and I was like, whoa, that's so cool.
Now you know why there are not a lot of them around anymore.
Exactly. Yep. But I thought that was the coolest thing ever, and when I saw them on the street, they got excited, you know. But yeah, cool car for sure.
Yeah, I see one maybe once a month.
Yeah, they're rare. You don't see a lot of them anymore. And these wheels are neat too. Just cool looking 5 spokes.
Staggered fitment.
Yeah.
These are 8.5 inch in the rear, 7.5 in the front.
Okay.
I like the square rears on the front to get the 245 squared, but for now, it's good enough.
Yeah.
I heard someone call them the soccer balls the other day.
Soccer balls.
And I laughed a lot the first time I heard that, and it makes sense. That's what they look like.
Yeah, they do.
Balls.
Yeah, same pattern.
Oh yeah.
Are these 5x120 bolt pattern or something else?
Yes. 5x120. Yeah, no, it's 5x120.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, any BMW will work on here. Some people put E36 wheels on here. Whatever. I've seen a lot of photos of these wheels on a lot of other cars. People put them on E30s, and I actually think they look kind of cool on E30s.
They do. I've seen that too. Yeah, that's a sharp look.
But everything else, they look total garbage. It only works in this car for some reason.
Yeah, it just works with the era, does the design. The paint is nicely matched with the silver too.
Yeah, the original wheel, actually I can show you the spare. So the original wheels on this car, and I never actually had them with these wheels. Oh.
We can just peek at the spare.
Oh yeah, we can peek at the spare.
Also get a true look at the what's in the
DS2s.
trunk of an E36 owner. Lots of tools.
Yeah,
Some
exactly.
Liquimolly.
I took my coolant out of here. I trust it enough now, but these are original wheels. This
Yeah.
tire's actually from 1997, and I had to use it once, and the factory jack on the side of the road. And it's really intuitive. You stick the little circles on the side of the car.
Oh yeah, those pop out.
Yeah, those pop out.
That's great.
You stick the factory jack in the holes.
Is it thread in or does it just like stick in?
I'll show you. So, if I could. So it's a hole, and they just made it a structurally solid point. You
Okay,
stick
yeah.
it in there.
Cool.
And,
Oops, sorry.
Yeah. There you go.
Beej in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
These were starting to rust out, so last fall, I had to grind them all out, put some, what was that, POR 15 on it,
Yeah,
some cavity
spray
wax.
some stuff in there, you'll be good. Neat. It's very, kind of reminds me of like race car quick jacks where you just like,
Exactly.
you know? Yeah.
They sell an attachment for a jack, stick on the jack pad that goes in there, and the whole thing just...
Ah, that's cool.
A lot of the guys that are slammed use it, and that is like that's
They
the
have
only way
no
they're
choice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
These are easier to jack up than E36s, in my opinion. Because the whole side skirt, like the whole edge here on the underside is solid.
Okay.
E46s, you have to use the front or rear subframe.
Oh, I
and
see.
then you have jack pads where you put the stands. Honestly, these cars just don't like to be jacked up. You just put it on the left.
It's tough.
That's how they're
The
convenient.
Type R is like impossible. There's nowhere you jack up from the point where you need to put the jack stand on, and I used
Yeah, exactly.
a quick jack the other day, and that's like the best solution.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Well, anyway, if you guys are still watching, check
Yeah.
out Sonny's YouTube channel for more.
Yeah,
We'll see you later.
exactly.
Oh, that was fun.